hookah, 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 chaka, hookah, 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 chaka.
This is more than a hailstorm. This is like a golf ball. Snow cone.
Hope it doesn't do any damage to our
It
three
might
vehicles.
actually.
Yeah, so you're not picking that up, but cheers. America.
Cheers.
High desert living. Green year.
All right. So anyway, we're US or WT, USAT data and facts. Sorry, we're all like freaking out over that. It's crazy hailstorms, like something out of Bible or something.
Let's hope it's wrapping up.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Anyway, what we want to talk about, we'll have to talk over the banging on the house, is the 2023 Taekwondo World Championships, which starts Sunday for us, May 29th in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Yes.
Which is
very
located
exciting.
where, Don?
It's on the very edge, the boundary, between Europe and Asia. It's on the western coast of the Caspian Sea. Since it's landlocked, it's actually below sea level. So there should be no gassing out.
Yeah,
no gassing out, everybody.
Like Guadalajara, what was like 5,000 something?
Yeah, it's over about a mile, and there was lots of gassing out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what we're going to talk about, and since Don is more the expert on the athletes, their career, I mean, it's like kind of crazy how good he remembers everybody's name.
I'm just a fan.
I know you're a fan, but you like watch their videos, you watch their style, you know what they're good at, their strengths and weaknesses are. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about all the athletes, especially like USAT, but we're going to go through each weight class starting with the men, and we're going to say who we think is going to get the gold and what surprises there might be. How do we think that the best outcome for USAT will be? Our USA Taekwondo team, yay!
Yay!
So we're going to talk about all the divisions, who's going to get the gold, and so why don't we start with the men?
Okay, let's start with the men.
What weight class do you want to start with? I'm
going to start with the lightweights and work our way to the big guys, the heavyweights, for both men and women. We'll go pretty quickly, so hopefully I don't lose too many names along the way here. I'm picking a big event for Asia. Not much going on for Europe, surprisingly. And Africa probably swing a few golds too. Well, you'll see that coming. I do not predict any golds for the United States and all the Americans, even Carlos Sansores. So we'll come back to that. There could be a couple surprises. So there's some dark horses. USA has some chances for medals. We'll get into that.
Quick question. What, you said you looked at the schedule, correct? Do you know what weight classes are first on Sunday? Yeah,
the first is 57 and 68. Two big categories right out of the gate.
Oh, wow.
Caitlin Cox and Kalfani Harris.
Wow.
Sunday night for us.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start with your picks.
Let's start with the picks, and got to mention that there's a new team that you're going to hear its name. There's a new team from the Western Sahara.
The Russians.
The
Russians are coming.
There's about 14 or
but
more.
Now they're Western Saharas.
Western Saharans, and a few of them, especially in the women's categories, could win golds. So we'll get to that.
The Russians are great.
Oh, by the way, 5 of these Western Saharans somehow, in their last event they were allowed to go in, which was the European President's Cup last year in 2022, 5 of them won golds. 5 of them won golds. 3 men, 2 women. So, not to be forgotten are those Western Saharans. Okay, men's 54, right out of the gate. I'm picking a Korean. Omar Salim is not in 54, even though he's number 1.
Yeah,
he's competing in 58, which is much tougher.
Yeah.
Bigger guys, taller guys. We'll see how he does, but he's not in 54. There's a Croatian guy who's ranked number 2, and won Slovenian Open, got 3rd in the Belgian Open and the Euros, but I don't think he's going to win. Taejun Park from Korea, won Canada and the U.S. And won last year, won the Grand Prix at Manchester. He also won the Korean Open and the Asian Championship in 2022. So, Taejun Park in 54. 58, there's some big names not going. The biggest name of all is not going. Jun Jang from Korea. ranked number 1 and 58 in the world. He's not going.
Why?
He's just not going. Junseo Bei is going instead, and I know the Asians, the Koreans, and the Chinese put their last name first, but I'm not going to do that. Junseo Bei is going in his place, and he's my pick in 58. So two Koreans right out of the gate. Bang, bang. He won the Belgian Open. He was the sole Korean sent to Belgium. I think that was a message to be sent to the Europeans. Oh, we're going to send one guy. He got gold. The others in 58 who are really big names, and a lot of people are pulling for, of course, Vito de la Quilda, defending world and Olympic champion. He's only had one event. He only did one event, the Spanish Open, where he lost to Jack Woolley. It was a big deal for Jack Woolley, who's ranked number 4, but Vito is very rusty. So I'm not counting on a big surprise from him, or, an expected surprise for him. Okay. Also, Mohamed Jendoubi, the guy who's always got the silver medal from Tunisia. He's also only done a couple of events, and he won the European Club Championships in late April, but he was 3rd at the Spanish Open in mid-April. So he's rusty. Another Korean at 58. Okay, 63. Let's keep with the Asian theme. 63, Yushui Liang from China. Number 1 in the world, and he won the Belgian and Dutch Opens, and he won last year at Guadalajara. I don't see any reason to vote against this guy, even though the Spanish guy, Cala, won the Spanish Open and the European President's Cup. He was 3rd at the Belgian Open and last year in Guadalajara. So maybe a Spanish surprise, but I'm going with China. Wild card, Braven Park from Canada. I think he's the one person in the Park family who might medal, but it's more like a quarter-final finish. I think the Park family is going to be shut out. Okay, let's move along to some of the more famous weights. M68, men's 68.
It's always exciting.
Always exciting. There are, I think, 4 guys that could win this. 3 of them are highly ranked, and 1 is almost there. Bradley Sinden, number 1.
Yeah.
Great Britain.
Yeah.
He's won big events before. He's also just come short. He's only done 2 events this year. The European President's Cup, and he won. And Bulgaria, where he won in 74. Those were both in...
So he went up to 74 in Bulgaria.
Yeah, otherwise no activity, like nothing. And he's very quiet on social media. I don't know if he's been nursing some injuries.
You check all these people's social media, don't you?
I do. I follow a lot of these people on social media. All these people I'm about to mention, I follow.
He does this with golf too, and other sports. So it's not just Taekwondo, but it's always, I'm like, what are you doing, Don? What are you doing?
It's mostly the golf guys. The LIV versus PGA rivalry going on now.
LIV,
it's so delicious.
The fun golf.
It's so delicious. Anyway, Taekwondo.
Back to this, because we don't want this to be an hour long.
Right. So, number 2 is Zaid Karim from Jordan.
Okay.
He hasn't been very busy. He won, the El Hassan Cup, but he was 5th at the Austrian Open. 5th. The Jordanians have taken it pretty easy this early spring, and hopefully that will come back to bite them. Number 3 is Ulugbek Rashetov. I think the most exciting guy in Taekwondo. Sorry, CJ. Ulugbek Rashetov. And he won in 74, the Belgian Open, the Fugera Open. He bowed out at the Dutch for his countryman teammate so that he could win, and he did.
So why is he doing 68?
Because it's the Olympic category.
Oh, okay. So he wants the points for that.
He's a defending Olympic champion.
Okay.
And he fights in 74 because he can win, and he can win in 68.
Okay.
So Karim and Rashetov are on the same side of the brackets. They got to face each other before they can get to Bradley Sinden. I think it's Rashetov, and I think it's Rashetov over Sinden. Wild card, Ho Jun-jin from Korea. He won the U.S., but he was 3rd in Canada. And he won the Manchester Grand Prix last year. So he's a wild card for Korea, and Korea would love that. And men's 74.
74.
Men's 74. We've got a good-looking American guy in M74, Keo Bonaventura. I wish him all the best. We had a discussion with his coach yesterday. It was a fabulous conversation with Joseph Santos.
With Joseph Santos, because we're starting to do interviews, and I wouldn't call it interviews, more like the
It's a conversation.
conversation experience. You know, like the Joe Rogan experience. They just have conversations with him. It was like that, and it was so great. It was fun.
Oh, the guy's amazing.
Unbelievable guy. I just, world class coach, just incredible. I knew we found out this morning that he's going to Baku.
Yeah,
to support his guys.
Give mental support to the athletes who need as much mental support as they can.
They really do.
Steph mentioned what would be a great outcome for the U.S. team.
Yep.
Probably the best outcome. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, let's win a bunch of golds." Yeah, that's not very likely. The best outcome, in my opinion, we could have is that everyone wins their first match.
Yes.
And you think, "Well, does that sound like a big deal?" It's a big deal at Worlds. We usually have 3 or 4 team members, about a quarter of the team, lose their first match. Last year, CJ lost his first match.
Yeah, but you know
one of
what?
our top people.
It was also
It's so difficult.
Dado wasn't working that day either. 80 and 57.
Oh, that was the first day.
Got so screwed. It was amazing that even Zolotich made it to quarterfinals.
Yeah. And it was a close loss to the Taipei girl in the quarters.
Yeah.
So,
all right, back to 74.
74.
So we got
a
Kiel Buenaventura.
Kiel Buenaventura. I hope he goes far.
Yep.
Meanwhile, there's a super tall Tunisian by the name of Firas Katoussi. You've probably seen him. He's like 6'8" or 9", towers over everybody. He always does 74, although he competes at Grand Prix and 80 and the Olympics. I'm picking him, the Tunisian, over Daniel Cuseda Barrera from Spain, who's ranked number 1. So there's a gold for Africa.
Don't we have a Russian as well? Oh, I'm sorry, Eastern Sahara.
Western Sahara.
Western Sahara.
Western Sahara.
In 74 as well.
I believe we do. Yes, we do.
You checked yesterday and said that there was.
Katerberg Dorov, ranked number 19, back before they were
but you know what? All
not
the
allowed
Russians
to compete.
are going to be low ranked because they haven't competed in over a year.
Right. He was 19 back in March of 22, just after the President's Cup.
So we don't know how the Russians are going to do.
We don't. Although I got a pretty good idea how one of them's going to do. We'll get to her. So, Katoussi in 74. Men's 80, minus 80. Big category for the United States. Everybody's pulling for CJ. Very dynamic fighter.
Go CJ.
Excellent fighter. Let's hope he goes very far. Not only win that first match, let's get to the medal rounds.
They're doing KP&P, so I think he'll go a lot further than he did with the non-operating Dado.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good start to the year. Won the U.S. Open, of course, big deal. The Brazil Pan Am Series, second at the European President's Cup. Walked right into Europe and said, "Okay, I'm taking your silver medal." Anyway, I think he's going to make it to the medal rounds. Yeah, but I'm not sure he can get by Sif Essa from Egypt, the towering Egyptian. He has beat him once before, but Issa has won everything he's done so far this year. And then after that, you got to face the Italian, the even taller 6'6" Alessio Simoni, defending world champion, or not world champion, other champion. And this year he's had 2 events and he won them both. Spanish Open, Bulgarian Open. Bulgarian was a pretty big deal. So he, like CJ, also lost his first match at last year's World Championships, again on day 1 when Dado sucked. And this year, I think it's KP&P. I don't see how anybody can get by him. Oh, there's also the Korean who won last year in Guadalajara. CJ beat him at the U.S. Open. He's really good, but CJ beat him.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 more men's categories.
All right.
Another favorite American, Michael Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
I think Michael has a very good chance. We have to look at the bracket. Very good chance of making it to quarters, and then it's just one fight to get into the medals. So let's get there.
Let's go, Michael.
Let's go. So, and this is kind of an old man category. A guy in his 30s from Serbia who used to be Iranian, Madi Kodabashki, won last time in Guadalajara, and I don't think he's going to do it this time. I think this time it's between the guy who came 2nd and 3rd in Guadalajara, Mingwan Ming from China, who actually beat Michael Rodriguez in the 2nd round, and then Nikita Rafalovich from Uzbekistan as well. And I'd like to have Rafalovich win because he looks extremely like my son-in-law. But I think the Chinese guy might pull it out. So there's another medal for China.
Any Russians in 87?
I don't think there's a big name or a returning Russian in 87. No, there is not.
Okay.
The two biggest names, two of the three biggest names were not allowed back in. In 80, Maxim Kramtov, the Red Machine.
Because they like their country and they must be punished.
Yeah, and Vladislav Larin, the heavyweight, they were not allowed in because they did not meet the eligibility criteria, which means they had to disassociate themselves
Completely
and
from
basically
their country.
disavow their country.
Yeah.
So those guys didn't do it, they're not going.
And, USA has never started any wars, and we've never been happy.
We've never liberated any countries,
No,
especially ones that aren't anywhere near us.
And our athletes have never been punished.
Right.
Because we're so good.
Right.
We're good to the world.
Yes, we're a bright shining light on the hill.
Yep.
Okay, heavyweight, men's 87. I think it might be a replay of a lot of fights we've seen between
Plus 87.
plus 87. Carlos Sansores from Mexico and Sheikh Cisse from Cote d'Ivoire,
I
Ivory
like
Coast.
him.
I think Cisse's going to
Cisse's
win like he did at Riyadh.
Yeah.
He's just got so many moves, so classy, so smart.
Don't
Yes.
we have? Isn't Healy in this?
Healy, I think he gets to
Jonathan
the medal
Healy.
rounds.
Yeah.
He got to the quarterfinal last time. I think Jonathan Healy's going to medal.
This guy just gets better and better and better.
He's a force.
Yeah.
And the only thing for both CJ and Jonathan is that their coach for the last several years, who's taken them to where they are today, Gareth Brown, may not be there. Right now it's looking like he's not allowed to go to Worlds. We'll see. There's still, hopeful rumors that he can make it. For these two guys and some others, he would make a huge difference in
Yes.
their mental game.
Yes.
So let's hope that happens. Let's hope both CJ and Jonathan Healy, get to the middle rounds. All right.
So that's it for the men.
That's it for the men. How are we
All
doing on
right.
time? Any idea?
It's probably been like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's do the ladies.
Let's do the ladies. The little ladies. F46, minus 46. I'm going with the defending world champion, Lena Stojkovic from Croatia. She usually fights in 49 and she wins a lot there. So I don't see her having any trouble in 49.
46.
46, sorry. So I think that's going to be one of your few Europeans to have a gold medal. 49.
Do we have any? Are there any? So I keep asking this. Are there any Russians that are in 46?
I have a list of those Western Saharans. And no, there's not.
Okay.
No, there's
The
not.
Western
There's only
Saharans.
3 Western Saharan females.
I'm not going to remember that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you can,
I'll stick to that.
quote unquote it.
So one thing that's good news for America is that the number 2 world ranked athlete is from Korea in F46, and her name is Miru Kang. She won the gold at the Canada Open, and Ashley Choi gave her a good match. Ashley Choi from the United States won silver at the
Go
Canada
Ashley.
Open. So Ashley, use that.
Yep.
Learn from that.
Yes.
Go far. Back to F49.
F49.
Probably the most stacked division in the whole thing.
Panapac with her own country.
Panapac recently won the. She went to the Belgian Opens. One of the few things she did, and she kind of farted around, looked a little rusty, and she got a bronze. So it's very unusual for her. She
Right.
lost to Merv Dinsel, the screamer from Turkey, who's also a pick to go to the final.
The screamer from Turkey.
And then Dinsel turned around and beat Adriana Cerezo Iglesias too. So this is a fight between 3 people:
Yeah.
Cerezo, Panapac, and Dinsel. And Adriana and Dinsel are on the same side of the bracket. So they have to fight each other to see who gets to fight Panapac.
Who from USA do we have in 49?
We have Kylie Lewis,
Kylie Lewis.
namesake of mine. Never
Yeah.
met her. Wish her the best.
Yes.
Wish her the best.
Go Kylie.
Go Kylie. Okay. 53.
53. Yeah, baby.
53.
My girl from Russia's back.
We've got a new
Tatiana.
Tatiana Kudashova.
But we've got an alternate from USA.
We have
Ashley
Ashley Valerio, who recently won silver at the Pan American Junior Championships.
She's a tiny thing
She must be.
because she's fought in 49.
Just recently.
As a junior, correct?
Yeah.
And she's very young.
Yeah, very young. We saw some video highlights of her. She seems like a dynamo. This is a different level of competition.
Such a bummer though that Michaela's not.
And Since she's only got points in 49 from the Pan Am Championship, she does
Yeah.
not have any points in
She's not
53.
ranked.
She's unranked, which you know what that means. There's
Number
probably
one.
going to be some other fighters also
Yeah,
unranked.
that's gonna be a tough. Her
And
first
those
match.
people have to fight the very top ranked people.
Yeah, that's gonna be
So-
a tough first match.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
let's wish her all the best.
I think last time's gold medalist from Guadalajara, Daniela Souza, is not going to make it even past the quarterfinals. She lost to, in 53, she went to the Dominican Games, the only Mexican, I think, that went to the Dominican Open, and she lost to Sofia Osugura. Good
Yeah,
for
Sophia
Sophia.
did great.
Too bad Sophia isn't going in 53, but we have an excellent athlete in Ashley Valerio who is going.
Yep.
Tatiana Menina
Tatiana.
has been staying in shape, even though you can see a post on social media recently where she's eating a huge hot dog at a football game.
Do you think she might be an angry Russian?
She
for
might-
what's been done to
She
them?
might have a little
And
angst.
I think isn't she in the army?
She's in the army.
Which
and
I don't know how she got past that disavowing her country
I don't
and being
either.
able to be allowed to
That's
fight.
very clever. I don't know how to think
But
of it. And
I
you know
think
what?
she's gonna medal.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think she's got gold.
Yeah.
She's my pick for gold.
Yeah. Mine
And-
too, actually.
Before they were banned from being allowed to even compete at the beginning of last year, she was ranked number 1 in 53. She's done extremely well in
She is
57.
a
She's
force
won
of
a
nature.
lot in 53. I'm picking her again here.
Yep.
So I don't know where to put that victory though. Whether that's an African victory for Western Sahara
Western Sahara.
or European, I just don't know.
That is hilarious. Western Sahara.
57,
Okay.
the towering Chinese lady,
Zhao
Zhongxi Luo.
Lo.
Luo.
Song Shi Lao.
She's only had one
Luo.
event, where the Dutch Open, where she placed first. For some reason, didn't compete the next week at
You
the Belgian
know,
Open.
She's got to be like the skinniest person on the face of the earth to be that tall in that weight class.
She's 6 feet tall,
Yeah,
126 pounds.
that is unbelievable. How do you be strong when you're like a beanpole like that?
Yeah,
You know,
I have no idea.
because Jade is like so fit.
Yes.
And she's not that tall, but she is amazing how she can
Yeah.
do the teeter totter and so we can get head kicks when
Yeah.
they're like.
So
You
like 49 and men 68, I
Yeah.
think F57
Glamour
is
group.
the top people, the top seeds will rise to the top. And so Luo from China, picking her for the gold.
Yeah.
She doesn't lose very often.
Mm-mm.
Won all the big events last year. And the only hope for anybody else to beat her are the number 2 and 3 seeds. Hatice Ilgin from Turkey. Very crafty, very tall, very smart, very experienced. And even more experienced and even more active, Jade Jones. Jade is aiming to wrap up her long, glorious career with these Worlds and the Olympics next year. And
I think so too.
I think she wants to win.
Oh yeah.
The wild card I have in this division is a Hungarian who trained
Who was our USA athlete in 57?
in 57.
Yeah.
Are
Because Anna's not going because of her recovery.
right, Caitlin Cox.
Caitlin Cox.
Caitlin Cox is also a dynamo. You can sort of put her in the Jay Jones mold, and she has no fear.
You know what? That's a good statement
Yeah.
right there.
And as far as I know, she might be a very similar size to Jade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how tall she is.
Yeah,
Jade's,
she's
I
around
think,
that same size.
Jade's what, 5'7"?
She's about 5'7". She's more than 5'6".
Yeah.
So anyway, Caitlin Cox, I think will win a few to several matches at this World Championships.
Points, baby.
But the wild card I'm picking over Caitlin, unfortunately, is the Luana Martin, who fights for Hungary but trains with the big Spanish team, Hankook, in Spain, with Cerezo Iglesias and all those other names. She and her twin sister are both going in
that's right.
57 and 62. Luana does a little better in 57 because they're twins, they're identical, and she does the lighter weight class. So anyway, she could sneak into the medals, but that'd be a pretty big surprise. Okay,
All right.
62.
62.
Okay,
Faith Dillon.
Faith Dillon. Faith,
Who really, I think, should also be doing 57. That's just my opinion.
yeah, Faith
Because the
could
girl
easily-
can make 57 weight anytime she wants to. She's one of the very few female athletes I've seen that is so consistent with her weight.
Yes.
It's amazing. But they need her in 62, so
They need her and put her in 62.
which she won in was it
She won 2 events,
Bulgaria?
the Dominican Open and the
Yep.
Spanish Open.
was it the Spanish?
Spanish Open in 62.
Yeah.
She was second at the Pan Am Brazil, where she came super close to beating Skylar Park, but Skylar was wearing that
Yeah,
size
but
2
that was Hogu Gate.
Yeah, Hogu Gate.
Skylar was wearing a size 2, and she's not supposed
Yeah.
to be wearing a size 2.
So I think Faith, even though she's ranked much higher in 57, she's ranked 36th in 62. I think she's a solid candidate to make the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then it's just one match to
Yep.
get into the medals.
Yep.
Faith can very easily surprise.
And I've been watching her for years, and she just gets better and
Yeah.
better and better.
But there's the giant Belgian, Sarah Chari.
Oh my gosh, the one with the
18-year-old Sarah
the
Chari, who's
Yeah.
who knows what, 6'4", plus or minus.
Yeah, she's
And has been winning some events this year. A little bit mixed record because she's been very busy, but she's got a whole bunch of firsts: the Dutch Open, the Slovenian Open, the
She doesn't
European
lose much
President's
either.
Cup. So
Yeah.
she's very in tune with her game and extraordinarily dangerous. She won last year. I'm picking her this year for the gold.
okay.
But no Faith.
Oh no, we want Faith, but
Yeah.
I think it's yeah,
Okay.
I have to agree with you.
Let me read you a list of the loaded category division of F67.
F67.
Alexandra Perisic, Castro Burgos, Juliana Elsadek, Christina Ticha, Lauren Williams, Magda Wheatonine, Mingyu Zhang, Melina Titanelli, Ruth Gaibi, and Theopola Sarvanaki from Greece. Those are just some of the names, and I think it's going to come down to 4 of those for the medals. Juliana Sadek from Jordan, who's ranked number 1, and I think should win gold, but I'm just not sure if she's got enough ring time this year. Lauren Williams, who's just desperate to win.
She's my favorite.
She's,
I love her.
if you just watch her practice, you think she's got to win. Magda Wheatonine from France is
She's
very
been
skilled.
practicing. Lauren's been practicing with the men too.
Yes.
She quit training with the females, and she's been out for how many months now?
3-4 months,
Yeah,
because she didn't like her results.
right.
She said, make me
She's
tougher.
like, I need to be tougher.
Make me tougher.
Yeah.
And then Mingyu
Wow.
Zhang from China, who beat Lauren infamously at a tournament, a couple tournaments. And so Lauren doesn't really want to relive that nightmare.
Do we have an American in
Well,
67?
Yeah, I just mentioned her name, Christina Ticha.
Oh,
The ball,
she's my favorite.
The ball of nuclear energy.
Oh my gosh, she's. Oh,
I think
I
she
didn't
ultimately-
realize that she's in the same group as Lauren.
Yeah, she ultimately will win medals at Worlds. Unfortunately, I don't think it's yet. Not yet. But she
You know
will in
what?
the future.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Because last year, you know what? I think the electricity went out and it just came back on.
It might have.
Well, we're sitting here.
Yeah. We've got Starlink,
Yeah, we got Starlink.
so that's good.
Anyway,
All right.
so teach out my punching girl. She's got the Quan. Show me the Quan, girl. Show me the Quan. Get it.
Excellent. 2 more categories. F73. I actually think this is America's best chance for a gold medal.
Maddie.
Gorbachev.
Yeah.
Wow. She's been to the quarterfinals. She's been kind of robbed of getting there again. She's going to the medals. I think she's got a solid chance at a gold. And, the other candidates, Rebecca McGowan from Great Britain, who's been mostly fighting heavyweights and doing really well. And somebody who hasn't fought at all this year, but is super dangerous, the Korean Davian Lee, who makes the most bizarre posts on Instagram, but she's Korean, so I don't
What
understand.
bizarre post does she make?
I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be takeoffs on manga or what, but she is very interesting. So,
Okay.
Korean is likely to win. Oh, there's also Western Saharan.
Western Sahara.
Polina Khan,
Russian.
also ranked number 1 in this weight class back in March of 22. And has since then not been allowed to compete.
That could be. She might be an angry Russian as well.
Yeah, that could be an
A
outcome there.
surprise.
Yeah.
Upset.
So, I'm pulling for Madeline.
Oh yeah.
All in for Madeline.
Go Maddie.
All in. And if F73, women's heavyweight, Bianca Kokowit. Enough. Oh, 73, another upset category. Another is a Turkish girl, in 73.
They're so good.
And her name is Sudi Uzunkavdar, who fights both heavyweight and 73. She could surprise in F73, and she's had some middling results this year, but at the big events, she really surprises. But heavyweight, Bianca Cook.
Yep.
Okay, we have got through the list.
All right.
Anything you want to wrap up with?
And our power's back. The hail is done, and I'll make some lasagna later.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Vegetable lasagna.